What's up, broskies? Damocles here, and today I wanted to talk about whether or not Pokemon Unite should have more maps, specifically more maps for ranked. This is something that I see asked for a lot in my chat, in my comments, on my Discord, and on the subreddit, and it's something that I have a pretty strong opinion on. So first off, I want to talk about why are people even asking for this, and then second off, I wanted to discuss why it's not a good idea for them to add more maps to ranked. So if you like this content, you want to be part of the discussion, you want to hear more Pokemon Unite news and stuff, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell down below. If you haven't already, we're trying to get to 30K right now, and follow me on all socials, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, or hop on my Discord if you want to chat or find people to play with. By the way, this is one of my earliest ever ranked matches, so please don't judge my team or the enemy team too harshly. I think it was like Great League or something like that, but just enjoy it. So, Pokemon Unite and more maps. Okay, so this is something I see asked all the time, and the main reason why people are asking for this is because they feel like certain games in ranked are getting stale, or that everything feels the same, and it might, but the solution is not additional ranked maps. Okay, it's just not, and for a number of reasons. So number one, in Pokemon Unite, as it stands right now, Remote Stadium, there are a massive amount of people that still don't even know how to play Remote Stadium correctly, okay? There are still people struggling to figure this map out, even though it is, as far as MOBA veterans are concerned, super simple map, but for a lot of people, this is their first ever MOBA. And so going and adding additional maps just muddies the waters even further, makes it a lot harder for new players to get hooked on the game and to learn the intricacies of the game, and just compounds an issue that is already present in Pokemon Unite, which is people not understanding how to play particular game modes. Okay, so right off the top, I think that adding additional ranked maps, never a good decision. Number two is people equate additional maps to a game feeling particularly stale. But really what it is Unite at its core, right? The demographic that they're aiming for is the casual MOBA player. Super casual. This is the most casual MOBA, period. As I said before, it's like baby's first MOBA. It's a really great way to get people into the MOBA genre. But when you make and that's by design. I'm not knocking the Unite developers. That is the niche that they're going for, and they're doing their best at it. But when you do that, you have to remove some of the aspects of traditional MOBAs that keep them exciting and keep them interesting and keep people hooked on them. And that is part of the learning curve of traditional MOBAs. It's that difficult, some like hard to get into, really difficult to master, and there's a lot to cover. There's a lot to learn in particular. In just the map alone in a traditional MOBA, it's a very intricate process to learn everything about it, the macro play, the micro play. And when you go and you make a game that is super casual and you remove a lot of the aspects that are not necessarily casual friendly, what you do is you make the game a lot more repetitive. You make it a little bit more on the stale side because there's not as many intricacies that you actually have to learn, right? And again, not knocking the Unite developers, but I'm just trying to explain to people that maybe haven't played another MOBA before why you might be feeling a certain type of way and why other people might not be feeling a certain type of way. Okay, so the way you... How do I explain this staleness? So, like, for example, in League of Legends or in Dota, you have different, like, timings for everything. Like, no two matches are the same. So you've got, like, back timings. You've got minion wave control. You have to last hit. You have an additional resource in gold or money that you have to spend. Items choices to make that change throughout different games that you have to adapt on the fly in the middle of a game to decide what is the best avenue. Even as far as jungle is concerned, you have different jungle timings for different camps. You have to do different jungle pathing that all have benefits and consequences. There's a multitude of objectives that you have to juggle and that people can fake you out on. There's vision control. There's there's draft mode that you have to create different comps for. All of these different things that are basically removed from Pokemon Unite, which makes it a much more straightforward experience, which is what they wanted, but I'm just trying to explain this is why you're feeling that element of staleness. Okay, so for example, in a League of Legends game, I could, like, no two of those games are going to be exactly the same. If I ask a person in League of Legends, what are you going to be doing at the 12-minute mark? They're probably going to be saying, I don't know, something, reacting to something on the map maybe. If I ask you what you're going to be doing at the 7-minute mark in a Pokemon Unite match, or every 2 minutes after that, you're going to be saying, I'm going to be doing Dreadnought until Zapdos comes up, and then I'm going to take Zapdos and win the game. Because Pokemon Unite is very predictable. It's very XYZ. Like, you know exactly what to do, which is great for a casual audience, not so great for a excitement factor of like, ooh, let's switch it up in this game, okay? And that is where the staleness is coming from. Now, some of this stuff can just be, and just as an aside, also from a balancing perspective, we already have some balance issues with Pokemon Unite. You've seen them. Certain characters way too strong for too long. Mary J. Blige, Lucario, Greedent maybe, characters being released super broken. That's basing them off of this one map, Remote Stadium. Going and adding additional maps to that ranked rotation or just to the standard rotation makes it even harder to balance because now you're balancing across a multitude of different maps. It just muddies the waters even further. But what I wanted to talk about is potential remedies to this staleness as well, and why I think you should be focusing more on this than adding additional maps, and that is draft mode. Okay, you should be more excited about additional roster size. This is why I always, this is why I harp on and on about roster size, roster size, and character release schedules in Unite, because this is what truly makes or breaks a MOBA. And I'll do a whole video on draft mode if you want one, because I know it's a lot of people's first MOBA. But basically, in Pokemon Unite right now, you have what is called blind pick. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why when people ask me about Pokemon Unite competitive, I'm like, blind pick is essentially you pick your team, the enemy team picks their team, and you have no idea what the other team is picking, but you could all feasibly pick the exact same characters. And in a lot of cases, especially as you go higher and higher up the ladder, that's you see a lot of the exact same teams over and over again because there's certain characters that are just strong, and why wouldn't you pick those characters? But in other MOBAs, you have what is called draft queue, or draft mode, which is basically I pick my character, and then the enemy team picks one character. And then one person on my team picks another character, and then the enemy team picks another character. And you can see what both teams are picking. But you go back and forth, and that way you're able to counterpick people. You're able to have more interesting matches. Nobody can have the same character, and this makes it so the meta doesn't seem as stale. It's not every single game, Cinderace, Eldegoss, Snorlax, Sylveon or whatever. It's you have to go and counterpick people. In those draft modes, you also have bans. So if I am making, say, an entire team, I want my team to be all about getting Garchomp to late game and allowing him to get on the enemy team and destroy them, then maybe I'm going to go and ban Snorlax. I'm going to ban Blastoise because those people are going to counter what our objective is, right? So if I ban Snorlax and them, maybe they're like, oh, well, Eldegoss would help Garchomp get in easier with its whirlwind, so let's go and let's pick away Eldegoss, or let's ban Eldegoss. And so then you get this kind of clever mini game that starts before the game even begins, where you're going and you're already making this less stale environment for the game to take place in, because you have these different team compositions that, oh, I'm drafting this to go against this guy, or I'm the weak point of the team right now, but if I can get to this point, then I'm the strong point of the team. And that is what reduces staleness in most, if not all, MOBAs, is additional characters, not just from an excitement point of view of like, oh, what does this character do, but the character interactions and the team compositions that you're able to create. And I spoke already about like early game and late game team compositions in my last video, but I can talk to you guys all about draft in another video, but really, that's what you guys should be excited about. That's what people should be thinking of, is draft mode and additional roster size. Because aside from just, new exciting Pokemon to go up against, there are also going to be counter picks. There's going to be different team compositions. And this is why when people ask me, oh, what can you do to buff Garchomp? I'm like, you need to add additional characters to the roster so that you can have these different things to support various characters, support various team compositions, and to unlock draft mode. Because the unfortunate thing is that draft mode can't just be dropped it just can't be released at the drop of a hat. You need to have a larger roster size for the actual game, because you are going and you're going to be picking, 5 separate team members or 10 separate Pokemon that can't overlap, and then you're going to be banning, a certain amount of them as well. And I'm not saying that draft is necessarily 100% a lock to come to Pokemon Unite. They might not do it, but if you want to have it be competitive, this is where the competition starts, is in the draft mode. Teams, if you go and you watch the World Championships of League of Legends tomorrow, for example, I'll drop a link in my Discord, teams win or lose sometimes in the draft phase, or teams will be knocked for, hey, why would you pick this instead of that? These types of things add to the overall intricacy of a map and change how the map is played as well. And that is something that I think people should really be looking forward to, and that's why I always talk about roster size growth in Pokemon Unite. But I hope this video was interesting to you guys. I hope it's like an interesting topic. I know a lot of people want this, but I just want to give my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion, so please feel free to drop your opinions down below. I'm not saying this is 100% going to happen, or a draft will ever happen, or if they won't add additional maps. I'm just saying that the largest monsters in the MOBA genre, one map, people can learn it intricately, and that allows for more opportunities for player growth and skill expression and stuff like that, rather than a multitude of maps. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want to see next. Do you want me to do a video about like draft and its potential benefits, or talk about roster size and stuff like that? Let me know. That's going to be it for me, though. I hope I covered everything. I hope it kind of makes sense to you. I just wanted to explain why some people might be feeling stale, and why new maps isn't necessarily the solution for that. I think that it would actually just kind of compound some of the issues that people are already having with the game. But thanks so much for watching. Again, if draft mode ever does come to Unite, that just comes with time. We need to have more characters being released. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Adamocles out.